$2. Dr. Care 2.10 and Zimmerman at $1.60. 11, 5 and 2. And Demolition there in the seventh and last from Terrain. All back here at Yarra Valley, we've got our last race, last of 9 on Cup Day coming up in around 10 minutes. There's your dividends at this stage. We've got Whistle Stop at $3.80, but here on track it is $2.50 in from $2.80. So there's been a good move for Whistle Stop and paying over a point shorter on the track. Distant Rock with bookmakers at $5, and the 10 way to win is $5.50 into $4.20. So good interest in the 10 way to win. All right, into the mounting yard, and David Gately, we start off with number 1, Empire Rock. Empire Rock, who's currently a $14 chance for David Hayes and Tom Dabenig and Michael Walker.
Yeah, it was certainly pretty average here last time. I think it's a safe way to put it. Was a betting drifter. Stormy Bill in the race was too good, probably be too good again. I guess the Benalla run prior to that gives him some hope.
Justiceforall for the Ledger family. They've made a fairly lengthy trip here to Yarra Valley today from Wangaratta, and Damien Lane, who's ridden a winner earlier, takes the ride.
Yeah, no, it's a hike. Yeah, the first up win at Albury was good. He chased a good speed and got up over them. Went to Wagga, just over raced, got a bit too keen up in trip. The last run he stuck to the task well. Racing, honestly.
Stormy Bill has placed twice from 2 runs at the track and distance, and Tom Sadler rides for Clinton McDonald, currently $8.
Comes through the same race as Way to Win. Way to Win beat Stormy Bill here last time. The Stormy Bill does have a 2 kilo swing today and has form at the track. He's coped well, draws well. I think he's a serious winning hope.
Whistle Stop comes to the races off a big win here at its first try at this track last time, beating Congress, who placed earlier in the day. $2.40 in from $2.80. It's the favourite.
Yeah, thrashed Congress, who was good earlier. You mentioned that. There was a further thrashing back to third. The Tatura run prior to that when first up, and in fact the first run for this stable was more than satisfactory. Winning hope.
We go on to the 6 now, 5 or 8 scratching, so 6 Man with the Plan. Bo Mertens rides for Bevan Lamming, and this horse coming off a 4th in the Way to Win race here at one of the recent meetings.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, Way to Win, the Quinella are both here. Way to Win and Stormy Bill, amongst others. Through between runs, looked every chance. Again, I've got this horse behind those.
Distant Rock looks ready for the longer trip at its 3rd run in. It's a $6 chance. Been a little easy out, 1.5 points for the Freedman Barn and Daniel Moore.
Won the maiden quite well, then went and measured up in town in a benchmark 70. The runner-up in that race was a horse called Pure Addiction. Now, Pure Addiction's beaten home, Hong Kong captain, beaten home roundabout. It's an exceptional reference, I think. Blinkers off to 1950, top pick.
Lord Orr's been going well in a 58 race, won last time at Sale, $18.
Yeah, it was closed the race off well and beat a horse called East Africa, who's since run well, and I think has a bit of a future, that horse. Prior to that was Sound and 5 weeks between runs. Sale, another one you can make a case for.
Shift Change is also a last start win. It was here at this track and distance, and Dale Smith rides for Mick Price.
Was in a different class to the maiden high-weight rivals that day. Was it just the heavy track, or is he just a mile too good, or a bit of both? Had excuses Seymour prior to that when put up with a slow recovery.
And here's Way to Win, also winning at the track and distance recently. Andrew Mallion rides for the Corstons family.
The money came heavy for him there. He was too good. 6 into $4.20. Beat Stormy Bill, who has a 2 kilo swing. I mentioned that. She's right in the game.
And $5.50 into $4.40 here with bookmakers. Zuhair, no doubt on its way to a jumping campaign. Went jumping last prep. The Zabeel Gilding for Tony Rossellini.
Not yet.
And we go to the 12. Dane Hustler at 20 to 1, out from $14 for Hayes and Dabenig and Billy Egan.
Went back last time and stayed there. The fresh run was a similar story. Gee, it's hard to come in there.
All right, so with all that said and done, let's go through your top 4 tips.
Happy with Distant Rock on top, the 7. 10 Way to Win, Whistle Stop and Stormy Bill forms intertwined. 7, 10, 4 and 3 for me.
Okay, runners still parading here ahead of this staying race. They don't have too far to go when they head out onto the track, with the barrier stalls located at around the 200 metre mark, of course, down to the post and 1 circuit. The same distance as we had our cup over today.
a nice interview from you with Jake Noonan there at the end of that after the horse took a left turn by their own. Good sport, Jake, to come out and chat to us, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he's got an interesting relationship with Bilo Bar, who broke his nose a couple of weeks ago, 2 starts back.
I think he's applied for a separation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Irreconcilable differences he's quoting.
Restraining order, I think he needs. But yeah, good to have him on, and he was quite fine. So was the horse after he was dislodged 10 metres into the previous race. All right, they're heading out onto the track. All right, another check of betting here for this upcoming 9th race. We might also have a look at Distant Rock's replay of his last run at Sandown behind Bakila. Bakila took that narrow run from back on the field and sprinted well, and he grounded out solidly at 1,600 metres second run. And it looked like that he'll be suited to the longer distance here today, Distant Rock. So we're about to head down into the enclosure. Who are we going to talk to here? Zakai Anson, Clinton McDonald's stable. So Zach about to join us with Clinton's runner here. And, well, got one of the main chargers in this race in Stormy Bill. Stormy Bill, who was narrowly beaten by Way to Win. They meet again today. Zach, well, his horse has been here a couple of times, has performed well without winning over the track and distance. You reckon he can get it done today?
Oh, we're pretty hopeful today. So he's been working well during the week. So yeah, we're pretty confident today.
Is he a horse you do much with in between runs?
Look, he works himself, so we keep him, pretty fresh. We don't really do much. He's had a little gallop on Tuesday, worked well. So as I said, we're pretty confident.
Have you given Tom any direct instructions?
Not direct. We hope to go forward, so be pretty prominent in the run.
Zach, best of luck.
Cheers.
Zach Ianson joining us from the Clinton McDonald yard. They've got Stormy Bill going around as one of the main hopes. Now, Distant Rock, I was mentioning that run at Sandown last time. Let's go to the tape of that performance and watch him in the white sleeves, purple cap, the Freedman colours. And he was quite sound, wasn't he, Gator?
Look, he was. It was certainly every chance, but you mentioned more than satisfactory effort. It was a busy finish, but taking a line through a horse there, the runner-up, who's a horse called Pure Addiction, who's got a bit of time for and has a good finish on his day. Crossed the line with it, and it's it's beaten Hong Kong Captain home. So it's hard to ignore that sort of form line. Punters on course, are they? 4:48 to 8 is an astronomical drift.
Yeah. So 4:48 to $8. There were a few spruiking him this morning, but the interest has gone waning the last half hour or so. Way to Win continues to be given some interest, and Whistle Stop very steady at the $2.40 mark, and Justiceforall in a point as well from 12 to 11. All right, we come to the end of a long day here at Yarra Valley. I think the club would be pleased with what's happened. Index Linked took out the feature race, the Cup, for Chris Waller and also Glenn Boss. And we'll be heading, no doubt, to the Mornington Cup after winning a couple of weeks ago the Mornington Cup Prelude. And Justine Hales from the Waller Barn saying there was simply just a fitness run in between the Prelude and the Mornington Cup at the end of this month.
They will have to find a new rider, though, that day for Index Linked. Of course, Glenn Boss has a great association with Index Linked, and he's such a difficult horse to ride. Glenn will be required in Sydney that day,
right,
I'm
yes.
hearing. So they'll have to find a new rider for Index Linked in the Mornington Cup. And it's not an easy. He's not an easy ride,
No.
as I've touched on.
That will be interesting to see which line they go down and which rider they choose to jump on board and hopefully make it a hat trick of wins. Terry Bailey calling all the action for us at Yarra Valley today on Racing Live. Let's join him for the last.
And thank you, Adam. Well done to you and the team. Excellent coverage of racing today. And a good race to win proceedings. I'm amazed that Whistle Stop is so short. I don't like that form race he came out of last start, but they are smashing this. There's only 2 horses the punters want from pre-post betting and betting on course today. That is Way to Win and Whistle Stop. Both horses very heavily backed. So they're moving in well. Whistle Stop's been a big go. It's $2.70 on the tote. Down the page, we've got Justiceforall $13.90, Stormy Bill at $8.10, Distant Rock at $5.60, Way to Win at $5.40. Been a terrific day of country racing. Cup taken out by Chris Waller and Glenn Boss with Index Linked. Now, Man with the Plan to move in and shift change out of maiden grade to move up. Distant Rock 750 on track in, a half point late. Justiceforall's in $1 on course, but on track, Whistle Stop 230, a best fluck of 280. Way to Win, best fluck 550, now 460. Bloody Idiot Drink Drive handicap, Whistle Stop the fave. Former Darley galloper, nowadays with Darren Weir. Michelle Payne has the ride and he's very fidgety. One from the outside. They're set. Lord Orr half jibbed up. Ready now. Last on Cup Day. Well done to the club. They put on a great event. They're off. And Whistle Stop and Shift Change in particular wide out of the gate very quickly. Showing speed, Stormy Bill. Distant Rock with him and Man with the Plan sailing down the centre of the track. Racing up to the judge the first time. Stormy Bill went to the front. Shift Change very wide out going up. Between them is Man with the Plan. Distant Rock grabbed hold of, drops in for cover. Whistle Stop found himself a little deep in the turn out of the straight as Justiceforall went up on the leader's back and Way to Win followed him forward. Then came in between runners Zahaya, 2 lengths away Empire Rock. They were followed at the tail of the field by Lord Orr on the fence and Dane Hustler on his outside. Wheeling to the back straight, 12.50 out. Stormy Bill getting a good run in front, controls it at the moment. Led by a length and a half, Man with the Plan on the fence. Justiceforall, Shift Change out in the car park, 3 wide. Distant Rock in between runners and on the fence, Way to Win. Then the favourite who's getting cover on the back of Shift Change, 3 wide, and that is Whistle Stop, 2 lengths Sahaya. They were followed by Dane Hustler, Lord Orr on the fence just in front of him, and 2 lengths away now. In fact, Dane Hustler going back last and Empire Rock is third last. Down the back, heading up to the 800 metres mark, Stormy Bill rated well in front. Led by a length and a bit. Second Man with the Plan. On the rail, Justiceforall. Shift Change working overtime. Distant Rock pushed up in the centre, but under riding. Whistle Stop comes out 4 wide, starting his move now. Way to Win back on the fence, needing a run through. They were followed by Empire Rock, Lord Orr, Dane Hustler, Zahaya. To the bend, Stormy Bill in front from Man with the Plan. Whistle Stop very wide out, going up to tackle the leader. Behind those, Justiceforall, Empire Rock, Way to Win. Distant Rock improving in front of him. Stormy Bill, Whistle Stop turned together with Whistle Stop hitting the front at the 250. A length away, Justiceforall, Way to Win. Distant Rock, Empire Rock running on. It's Justiceforall bursting through in the centre, going after Stormy Bill who kicked again, and Way to Win the fence. It's hitting the front on the outside. Justiceforall winning narrowly from Way to Win. Stormy Bill in a photo with Lord Orr for third, maybe that order. Distant Rock, Whistle Stop. Behind those runners, Dane Hustler. Man with the Plan a long way back on pulling up. Empire Rock, Zahaya. And after a very tough run, Shift Change last in.
Little bit of interest for Justiceforall here on course, and he gets the prize at 12.50 from Man with the Plan, who has gone, or in fact, away. What was it? Way to Win on the inside, should I say. Way to Win, who's gone through to get second. They've got past Stormy Bill, who was under pressure and did a good job fighting on, and making a sustained run around the field was Whistle Stop. Whistle Stop from a midfield position loomed as a big chance, but just couldn't sustain that run. And Distant Rock was off the bit a long way out, but then tried to come again late in the straight in the purple cap, and then was taken wide by Whistle Baby and may have cost him a little bit of margin. So we're waiting for the numbers to come through after the running of race number 9, and it will be 2, 10 and 3 confirmed.
Yeah, good win, wasn't it, Justiceforall, and a brave ride from Damien. You saw that head-on vision there. There wasn't a lot of room for him as they straightened, and the squeeze through the narrowest gap and burst through and wins. Back to the inside, Way to Win, looked full of momentum, certainly had enough room, but just couldn't match Justiceforall. And blanket finish, that's pretty much the race. 2, 10, 3. Stormy Bill's done a good job, well rated in the lead. Left the fence, battled well. Show you this head-on vision again. This is terrific viewing. Damien Lane on the winner, Justiceforall. Red colours, certainly under pressure there. And you see this point, he has to commit to go between them. He can't get to the outside. They squeeze, they tighten him, and he just persists with the run. And once he's got his head in there, his shoulders in there, the heavens opened, and he went on to score in strong style.
Yeah, it was a terrific, neat run that he took, and away he went to get the victory. Damien Lane with multiple wins on this program today. And here he is coming back to scale after being ever so close in the Group 1 with extra 0 yesterday in the Australian Cup. We're about to head down, and we're speaking prior to the race about the trip that the Ledgers had to do from Wangaratta with this horse to get him to Yarra Valley today. And we'll be chatting with John Ledger very shortly.
Indeed, winner pace 12.53.20. Wade to win $1.90. Stormy Bill $1.80. Quinella 33.6. On the last here at Yarra Valley, trifecta with the $374. And the quaddie, if you had the 2 in the last leg, I'll tell you was around $380 odd, or was it $360? One of them. First 4 with the 8, $2,506. Race 9 at Run and 1. Stay tuned for a little wrap of the key races here at Yarra Valley, and a couple of races out of Terang as well in the aftermath of race 9 once correct weight is posted. Here's that quaddie. 6182 numbers. Dividend 346. It was 346.40. So I robbed you a couple of bucks. Sorry there. Well done again if you had a piece of that. 3 legs pretty easy, I would have thought. The last one, touch tricky, but there was money for this horse at odds. Here's Damer.
Good way for Damien to end the program with the multiple winners on the card. And coming up to the bend, I guess you had a few options where to go, and he decided to take a narrow run, and the horse took it, and, well, the rest is history.
Yeah, I committed to that run sort of before it got tight, and it would have been probably more room on the inside in the end, but I was already sort of going there. I didn't want to stop his momentum, and to his credit, he stuck his head out and had a real crack, and he did the rest.
Where to next? Are you going to Werribee tomorrow? We've got rides later in the week.
I don't ride till Wednesday, so a couple easy day, which is always good.
Damien, best of luck.
Thanks, Adam.
Damien Lane joining us after the last race today, and he's been able to bring it home with the Ledger family, Justiceforall, in the running of the 64 benchmark handicap. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to recap the whole day of racing at Yarra Valley on Cup Day, and also the Western Districts meeting at Terang. Stay tuned on Racing Live.